James Corden was once one of the most beloved hosts of The Late Late Show and the hit Carpool Karaoke segment. But why did a talented, funny star lose his reputation and face harsh criticism? What scandals caused his career to plummet? Let's explore the life and downfall of James Corden in this video. Childhood and early career. James Corden was born on 22nd of August 1978 in Hillingdon, London, England, into a middle-class family. His father, Malcolm Corden, was a saxophone player in the Royal Air Force Central Band. After leaving the military, he became a religious bookseller. His mother, Margaret Corden, was a social worker, helping patients with mental health problems. James grew up in a warm but disciplined family environment where his parents encouraged their children to pursue their passions, but never allowed laziness or irresponsibility. James spent his childhood in the village of Hazelmere, Buckinghamshire, a peaceful suburb not far from London. From an early age, he showed a lively and humorous personality, often the center of family and school conversations. Corden attended Park Middle School and then Holmer Green Upper School, where he began to show his passion for acting. Although not an outstanding student academically, James was particularly outstanding in his artistic activities. He regularly participated in school plays and quickly realized that the stage was where he belonged. However, unlike many young actors who dreamed of Hollywood or the West End early on, James did not think he had a real chance. In an interview, he shared, "I was not a handsome boy or a flashy style. I was just a chubby boy who liked to tell jokes and act to attract attention." However, it was his charm and natural ability to make people laugh that helped James impress his drama teacher, who encouraged him to pursue a more serious artistic path. This was the first turning point that led him to an acting career. James Corden's first big break came in 1996 when he was just 18 years old. He got a chance to act in the musical Martin Guerre, a work by Claude Michel Schoenberg and Alain Boublil, the composers behind Les Miserables and Miss Saigon. Although his role in the play was not very prominent, it was the first time Corden had the opportunity to experience professional theater. He was exposed to veteran actors and learned about the discipline of performing arts. After his stage experience, James gradually made strides in television. In 1990, he got his first television role in the series Boys Unlimited, a satirical sitcom about a boy band trying to achieve fame. Corden played Gareth Jones, a naive but ambitious guy. Although the series was not successful, it helped James impress television producers. That same year, he appeared in the film Whatever Happened to Harold Smith, a comedy drama about youth in England in the 1970s. The film brought together many talented actors such as Tom Courtenay and Stephen Fry, allowing Corden to learn from his seniors. Although his role in the film was not large, James's charm and natural acting began to be noticed. In 2002, he continued to appear in All or Nothing, a film directed by Mike Leigh. This is a work with a social realism style, telling the story of the lives of working people in London. James plays a somewhat vagabond young man, reflecting the image of the young working class at that time. His performance received positive reviews, helping him gradually escape the image of a pure comedian and prove that he can take on many different types of roles. The early years of James Corden's career were not too brilliant, but each role he accepted was a foundational brick, helping him build his reputation and paving the way for great success later on. Career on the rise. This was the film that helped him become one of the most prominent comedians in the UK. In the film, Corden plays Smithy Neil Smith, Gavin's funny and mischievous best friend. Not just a funny character, Smithy also represents a typical British man, rough and carefree on the outside, but very emotional in reality, who also plays Nessa Jenkins in the show. Corden wrote the script himself, based on his personal experiences and stories he heard from friends. In an interview, he shared that the character Smithy was inspired by his real-life friends. The show not only brought laughter, but also reflected the cultural differences between the regions of England, especially between Essex and Wales. For his role as Smithy, James Corden received a BAFTA Award for Best Comedy Performance in 2008. This was an important milestone that helped him affirm his position in the entertainment industry. Were poorly received, causing his career to stall. However, the biggest opportunity of his life came in the form of an offer from America. The 2016 episode of Carpool Karaoke with Adele has been viewed over 250 million times on YouTube, making it one of the most watched talk show videos of all time. Episodes with artists like Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, and Paul McCartney have also garnered hundreds of millions of views, making Corden's show one of the most popular late-night shows in the United States. In addition to Carpool Karaoke, Corden has created other humorous segments such as Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, a question-and-answer game involving disgusting food, Crosswalk the Musical, a musical performance on the street, and hilarious group interviews. Through his creativity, he has helped The Late Late Show create its mark, different from traditional talk shows. During his nearly decade as host, Corden has won numerous awards and nominations, including an Emmy for Outstanding Talk Show segment. He also became a familiar face on American television, appearing at many major events such as the Tony Awards, Grammy Awards, and charity programs. However, along with his increasing popularity, James Corden also began to get involved in controversies and criticism, which gradually turned his image negative in the public eye. But that is another story. The story of the downfall of a person who was once loved by millions of viewers. Despite building an image as a fun, humorous, and friendly host, James Corden has been accused of being rude, arrogant, and behaving inappropriately towards staff and colleagues. This gradually affected his reputation, especially in the last years of hosting The Late Late Show. Inappropriate behavior. Throughout his career, Corden has been criticized many times for his bad attitude towards subordinates and colleagues. Some people who have worked with him have spoken out about his tendency to be irritable, grumpy, and unfriendly when not on camera. Many colleagues in the British and American television industry have said that James Corden often has a disrespectful attitude towards backstage staff, especially those working in lower positions. Some former staff members of The Late Late Show have also hinted that he is not an easy person to work with and often makes unreasonable demands of the crew. Actor Patrick Stewart publicly criticized Corden's attitude at the 2010 Glamour Women of the Year Awards. In a controversial moment, Stewart took the stage and mocked Corden for his lack of professionalism as a host. He said, "When you're on stage, don't stand there with your hands in your pockets and be boring. If you can do something to make the audience less uncomfortable, do it." And in response, Corden did not hesitate to hit back at Stewart on stage, making this moment one of the most controversial confrontations at that time. In the acting and media world, Corden is also called a fake because he can be very friendly in front of the camera, but acts cold and arrogant behind the scenes. This is in contrast to the cheerful, easygoing image he presents to the public. The most controversial story about James Corden's attitude occurred in October 2022, when he was banned from Balthazar, one of the most upscale restaurants in New York. Balthazar's owner, Keith McNally, posted an Instagram post accusing Corden of being rude and disrespectful to the waiter. According to McNally, Corden had yelled at the waiter twice for seemingly minor mistakes during the service process. The first time, Corden became angry when he found a hair in his food. Instead of politely reporting it, he called the waiter over, pointed at his plate, and shouted, "Can't you guys be professional? This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen." The second time, Corden went to the restaurant with his wife, and she ordered an omelette with the yolks separated. When the dish was brought out, he discovered that the yolk had been mixed into the egg. He angrily called the waiter over and yelled, "Do you know how to cook? I should go over there and do it myself." When the staff brought out a new dish to replace it, Corden was still not satisfied and continued to yell at the staff, attracting the attention of the entire restaurant area. After these two incidents, restaurant owner Keith McNally decided to ban Corden and publicly criticized him on social media, calling him the worst customer the restaurant has ever served. The post quickly attracted a lot of public attention and became one of the biggest scandals in Corden's career. After the incident broke out, James Corden initially refused to apologize and denied that he had behaved rudely. In an interview with the New York Times, he claimed that he had done nothing wrong and did not understand why the story was blown out of proportion. However, the overwhelming public pressure forced Corden to change his attitude. After receiving criticism from many fans, he called Keith McNally directly to apologize and publicly admitted his mistake on The Late Late Show. During the show, he admitted that he had acted inappropriately, saying, "It was a mistake. I lost my temper for a moment, but I never intended to hurt anyone. I love that restaurant, and I am truly sorry if I made the staff feel uncomfortable." Despite the apology, many people still believe that Corden only did it to appease public opinion and did not truly repent. Some viewers even called his apology half-hearted and insincere. The Balthazar scandal not only left James Corden in the public eye, but also sparked a larger debate about how he treats others. The saga has become emblematic of Corden's two-faced image, someone who can be fun and funny on TV, but rude and arrogant off-camera. At the same time, despite being a famous host with a sense of humor, James Corden has often been embroiled in controversy for his insensitive and even racist statements. Throughout his career, he has been criticized many times for joking too much, hurting others, and showing a lack of cultural sensitivity. In particular, Corden's comments related to Asians have caused him to face a strong wave of opposition. Controversial statements. One of the biggest controversies involving James Corden occurred on The Late Late Show with a famous segment called "Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts." In this game, guests had to choose between answering an awkward question or eating a dish that the show considered disgusting. However, problems arose when Corden repeatedly used Asian foods as part of jokes, calling them creepy, horrible, and inedible. For example, in an episode with Jimmy Kimmel, Corden appeared disgusted by the sight of balut, a popular dish in Vietnam and the Philippines. He said, "I can't believe people eat this." In another episode with Chrissy Teigen, Corden laughed and made a disgusted face at the sight of chicken feet, a popular dish in Chinese cuisine. These actions drew strong criticism, especially from the Asian American community, who felt that Corden was disrespecting Asian culinary culture and making fun of their traditional dishes on international television. A Change.org petition was created in 2021, calling for Corden to publicly apologize and remove the segment from the show. The petition quickly garnered more than 45,000 signatures, showing the level of public outrage over his insensitivity. Under pressure from the public, Corden finally spoke out and promised that the show would change. In an interview with Howard Stern, he said, "It was never our intention to offend anyone. We will adjust this game in the future to avoid causing hurt." However, he did not issue a formal apology, which left many feeling that he had not fully realized his mistake. In 2020, amid the COVID-19 pandemic, James Corden was criticized for a comment that was perceived as racist against Chinese people. On an episode of The Late Late Show, Corden joked that the spread of the virus was caused by someone eating a bat. The comment immediately sparked controversy as it echoed racist stereotypes about the origins of COVID-19 and fueled anti-Asian sentiment at a time when attacks against the Asian American community were on the rise. Many activists and viewers criticized Corden for the joke, arguing that he was contributing to the spread of misinformation and creating discrimination against Chinese people. Some even called on CBS to take action against him for his irresponsible statements. In addition to the above statements, James Corden has also been criticized for mockingly imitating Asian accents in some of his comedy skits. In an episode of The Late Late Show, Corden intentionally spoke in a Chinese accent when mentioning a dim sum restaurant, which made many viewers uncomfortable because they felt he was disparaging Asian pronunciation. In an interview with GQ magazine, Corden joked about being able to imitate anyone's accent, and he began to say some sentences in an Asian accent, which was considered rude and inappropriate. In response to criticism, James Corden has faced strong opposition many times. However, the way he responded is often not appreciated. With the controversy over the game, Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, he only committed to changing the content, but did not directly apologize to the Asian community. With his COVID-19 comments, he has not made any corrections or apologies, despite repeated requests from anti-racism organizations. With his Asian accent, he has also made no move to explain or admit his mistake. Many people believe that Corden is not interested in correcting his mistakes, but is just trying to minimize the damage to his image when facing negative reactions from the public. This further affects his reputation, especially when more and more celebrities are criticized for insensitive statements about racial issues. Controversies over James Corden's statements have caused him to lose a large number of fans, especially in the Asian community and audiences who are conscious of racism. Decline in reputation and career. Once one of the most beloved hosts on American television, James Corden has gradually lost the public's sympathy after a series of scandals about rude attitudes, controversial statements, and inappropriate behavior. These incidents not only affected his image, but also negatively impacted his career, causing him to lose many great opportunities in the entertainment industry. James Corden was once known for his charming humor and lively hosting style, but the scandals related to his arrogant and disrespectful attitude have caused many people to turn their backs on him. On social media, there has been a growing number of posts criticizing Corden's behavior, with many sharing personal experiences of him being rude to restaurant staff, colleagues, and even fans. Videos exposing James Corden's fakeness on YouTube and TikTok have also attracted millions of views, sparking a boycott against him. The Late Late Show with James Corden, once a huge success, began to see a decline in viewership, especially in the final years before he left the show in 2023. After leaving The Late Late Show, James Corden expected a more brilliant film career, but the reality was not what he expected. Previous controversies have caused many filmmakers and entertainment industry partners to distance themselves from him, fearing that his negative image could affect their projects. No longer invited to participate in major programs. Previously, Corden often appeared at major events such as the Tony Awards, Grammys, or Oscars. But since 2022, the number of times he was invited to host or guest on major shows has decreased significantly. After the failure of the movie Cats, 2019, in which Corden played the role of Bustopher Jones and was criticized for his ridiculous acting, he no longer received many invitations from famous directors. Some film projects that intended to invite him to participate had to be reconsidered due to concerns about negative reactions from the audience. In the entertainment industry, there are rumors that many actors and producers do not want to cooperate with Corden because they think he is too difficult to work with, arrogant, and disrespectful to those around him. One of the most obvious signs of Corden's declining reputation is that many prominent figures in the entertainment industry have publicly criticized him. Keith McNally, owner of the New York restaurant Balthazar, called James Corden the worst customer who has ever been to the restaurant and accused him of treating his staff poorly. Musician Noel Gallagher once quipped that Corden has no special talent and relies on overconfidence to succeed. Actress Mel B, formerly a member of the Spice Girls, called Corden one of the rudest people she has ever met in the entertainment industry. These comments have further damaged James Corden's image, as not only the audience, but also those in the industry no longer respect him. After nearly 8 years as host of The Late Late Show with James Corden, he announced that he would be leaving the show in 2023. Initially, many thought it was a personal decision by Corden, but rumors have since emerged that CBS is no longer interested in him due to declining viewership and his negative public image. CBS did not offer Corden a contract extension, despite previously expressing interest in keeping him. The show lost more than 50% of its viewership in its final years, partly due to Corden's scandals, which turned many people off of him. The final episode of the show was quite bland, without as many celebrity guests as previous years, showing that Corden's position in the industry has significantly declined. Since leaving the show, James Corden has tried to rebuild his image by participating in charity programs and community events to regain the sympathy of the audience, attempting to return to the British theatre stage, where he had success with One Man, Two Governors, conducting interviews to explain the past controversies, but most of the public still does not fully believe in his change. However, until now, James Corden has not been able to regain his former reputation. He is no longer a bright star of American television, and many viewers still find it difficult to accept someone with so many scandals like him returning to big projects. From a beloved host of hit shows like Carpool Karaoke, James Corden has destroyed his reputation with his actions and thoughtless statements. Controversies over his arrogant attitude, racism, and disrespectful treatment of waiters and colleagues have cost him the support of audiences, brands, and even people in the entertainment industry. Despite his efforts to save his career, James Corden has yet to regain his former glory. The question is, can he truly change and regain the public's trust? Or will he forever be one of those once brilliant stars who faded because of his own mistakes? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you and see you in the next video.